Well, good morning and Happy New Year. I'm United States Senator Johnny Isakson from the great state of Georgia, and I'm glad to welcome the Georgia Chamber of Commerce to their annual Eggs and Issues breakfast. I'm sorry I'm not there in person, but the Senate is already hard at work on a new agenda for America. We're going to try and be a new Congress this year with leadership that's determined to bring the issues that face business and face the people of Georgia to the floor of the United States Senate so you can be a part of watching the future debate about the future of America and our country. In fact, just last night, on Monday night, we passed the motion to proceed to go to the debate on the Keystone Pipeline. For 6 years, the Keystone Pipeline debate has been put off for political reasons. Now it's going to the floor of a Senate. It's going to be a full amendment process. It's going to be a great debate, and in the end, we think we have about 65 votes to pass the Keystone XL pipeline in the Senate. It will pass the House of Representatives, and it will go to the President of the United States. It's very important to understand what the Keystone XL pipeline does. It provides 42,000 construction jobs to begin with. Those jobs, while they'll be temporary, will last throughout the construction of the project. And then thousands of jobs in ongoing maintenance and operation of the pipeline. And it'll bring the tar sands petroleum from Canada to Houston, Texas, and to the Gulf for refinement. It'll help to make America even more energy independent than we already are. It's an important part of our future. And it's oil that if we don't get it in America will end up going to China and be burned in a non-environmentally sound way and possibly used against us. I want us to be energy independent, and I think the Congress and the Senate will pass the Keystone Pipeline. The President, whether the President follows through on his veto promise, remains to be seen. But importantly, we're going to give him a chance to make a statement on behalf of energy security for the United States of America. Also, I know that corporate tax reform is a big issue with the corporations of our state, particularly the C Corps. And I really believe, as a member of the Finance Committee, that this is the year in which corporate tax reform has the best chance of being addressed by the Congress of the United States. Our tax code in this country for C corporations is non-competitive internationally. We have too much money sitting offshore because we can't repatriate it back to the United States. We have too many people looking at inversions by going offshore and overseas to avoid the American tax system and take American jobs and America's future to another country across the ocean. A tax code is only supposed to benefit the country, not punish the country, and right now we have a punitive tax system that needs to be reformed greatly. I hope to be a part of that on the United States Senate Committee, and I look forward to the debate as it happens this year. Critical in terms of national security is the entire issue in the Middle East, and nothing more critical than the Iranian issue as far as nuclear enrichment. I'm hoping we'll have an additional sanctions bill pass out of the Foreign Relations Committee, which I have just joined again this year, to send the clear message to the Iranians that the development of the centrifuges and the development of fissionable nuclear material is not something that's in the best interest of a peaceful Middle East and certainly a peaceful world. Because if nuclear weapons proliferate in the Middle East, it'll make life around the world just that much more dangerous. And I intend to work hard, as I think all members of the Senate, Republican and Democrat alike, will do, to see to it that nuclear security is maintained as our #1 focus in terms of the Iranian issue and the Iranian sanctions issue. There are a plethora of other issues out there before us, from terrorism to economic development and business to new pharmaceutical breakthroughs in the FDA. You'll see a lot of things happening in the Congress this year. You're going to see a very active United States Senate. You're going to see a very active United States House. And we're going to try and address the problems that affect your future and our state in the future. I want to add one other postscript before I go. I want to welcome David Perdue to the United States Senate. My lifelong friend Saxby Chambliss has represented Georgia well for 20 years. He did a phenomenal job in the United States Senate, and I wish him the very best. And I'm confident that David Perdue will follow in his footsteps as being a great public servant to the people of Georgia. But as always, I appreciate where we get our strength from, and that's the American business community and the Georgia business community. The business of America is business, and the Chamber of Commerce is the key to the advocate for business in Washington and at home. So as the legislature kicks off in Atlanta and as Congress kicks off in Washington, you can rest assured that top-of-the-mind awareness of the agenda of the Chamber of Commerce is always going to be on the top of my mind, because we work for you. We know we owe our opportunities in Washington and the state capitol to you, and we appreciate the Georgia business community and all it does for us. Have a wonderful year, happy New Year, great prosperity to you, and God bless the United States of America and our great state of Georgia.